CTAM Insights Conference, Chicago, Illinois. The question being asked is, where will you focus your research over the next couple of years?
That's a good question. I think that we have a couple of priorities. One includes if TV Everywhere starts getting some traction, we need to understand what that experience is like for our consumers, and we want to increase our research on that because our early efforts have been limited just because there isn't a lot to work with yet in terms of authenticated sites. Another is mobile. Mobile's a huge category for us. We have developed lots and lots of apps, and we want to know more about how they're being used. Mobile overall, app and WAP, is something that we want to understand more about. I think another area is, of course, cross-platform measurement. We were one of the early experimenters during the Nielsen trial in first quarter with the extended screen. It didn't feel like an elegant solution, but I'm glad to see that continue to try to improve that.
That's great first steps. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think over the next couple of years, Charlene, we're going to continue to do what we do in terms of first elevating the consultative research that we provide our clients on the ad sales side. There's been a significant paradigm shift, I think, in our industry where instead of just selling, we're actually advising and consulting our advertiser clients, particularly in the area of how to buy and invest in cross-platform, and then providing unique forms of measurement in terms of exposure, frequency, engagement, as well as ROI, depending on what the ROI objectives are of those advertisers. Secondly, we will be investing a lot of time and effort in understanding new technologies. We're here at the CTAM Insights Conference, and we're spending a lot of time truly understanding about the new consumer, the role that technology plays in terms of changing behavior, and the connectedness, this new era of connectedness and portability. The advent of the iPad, for example, of becoming another portable television set in the household, but one that you can also take beyond the home. Lastly, actually, we're doing much more work internationally, and we're really trying to export the work that we're been doing in terms of cross-platform to markets like Mexico, Brazil, Argentina. And then we have a lot of expansive work that we're trying to do in Europe, particularly the UK and countries like Italy and France and Germany. So I think that'll keep us busy for a while. The one thing I would also add is, we've been in this business of doing lab work now for about 3 years, and that's really changed the way that we think about research and the way that we do research. That's going to continue to expand, and I think the whole idea of using experimental design in a lab environment is going to continue to expand in the work that we do, both on the content side and understanding how our fans work with new technologies, and also developing and testing new ad models.
Wow, it sounds like an exciting 2 years.
Thank you.
I really think it's going to be a deeper dive into cross-platform measurement. It's happening now. It's proliferating at a very fast pace. And I think from a branding perspective, a marketing perspective, it's really important to make sure that we measure that effectively and get paid for it.
Well, I think we'll look to enhance cross-media measurement of our nonlinear and linear music networks. We'll also look to supplement existing audience measurement data with consumer purchasing data, and we'll also look to further integration of existing nonlinear audience measurement data into media agency planning and buying systems.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I can tell you at Brandtrack, our emphasis will be in expanding our set-top box data with more integration of the lifestyle databases that we are currently creating with our partner at Equifax. Set-top box data, I think, is becoming a real viable database currency. It may not replace Nielsen, and we're not actually that interested in replacing Nielsen, but I think Brandtrack will be at the forefront of making set-top box data and the data analytics that it provides a more standard currency.
Thank you.
How's that sound?
I really believe that going beyond the demographic is where the next step is. I think we've been talking about it. I think it's here, whether it's the integration of set-top box data, whether it is the fusion of Nielsen data with other third parties, specifically MRI. I'm passionate about this only because of the fact that we are actually doing that work today. We're taking our viewership and being able to look at beyond the adult 25 to 54, but look at the adult 25 to 54 who's a technophile. What does that mean? We can tap into people that are on the cutting edge of electronics, PDAs, tablets, and understand how our viewers are interacting with these products. We can be very specific and look at it at a brand level. We look at it, how our viewers are consuming hamburgers at McDonald's or going to fast food restaurants. So to me, that is where I think the industry needs to go and really just tap into, what the advertisers are looking into, what the brand managers are looking into, match my viewers to your consumers. That's where I think it's going.
Great, thank you.
Well, I think that consumers are telling us they want to watch our content wherever they want to watch it, and our research has to figure out how we're going to monetize that content. They're going to watch it. We can decide to not make it available to them, in which case they'll watch somewhere else. So if they're going to want to watch it in new places, new methods, on new platforms, we have to find a way to make money off that and still make it affordable for them and entertaining for them.
Sounds like the thing to do. Thank you.
We hope so.
Well, I hope that it's going to focus more on insights. I thought what we heard this morning was so true, with all the changes in media over the last couple of years. I think we've been running around trying to, measure things and understand things without the time to really be insightful about it. So I'm thinking that research is going to sort of draw back, I hope, from chasing the next shiny new thing. And instead is going to focus more on what does it mean and what's really beneath the surface of the data.
Great, thank you.
Everyone seems to be talking about social networks, and then the other conversation that seems to be going on is about how are we going to bring together just measuring online, on air. I think it's going to be more and more about trying to bring all of that, if we want to call it measurement, together. Like, where are people going and how is measuring all of those different, I don't even want to call them screens anymore, because we're talking about the social network and online and on air, and trying to see the direction that the buzz is going in. Because I think we want to get into, to as great a degree as we can, sort of the prediction business. As we heard from someone here today, to what degree can the buzz on social networks predict how popular a program is going to be or anything is going to be? So just trying to use every one of these media that we can measure to measure the other. I don't think it's just going to be about, as we hear again today, just about measuring the on-air. I think it's going to be trying to just get one big measure of who's consuming my product or who's watching my show, no matter where. We're going to be, we were just talking to my staff about how meaningless live same day data may be soon. Maybe all we care about is the Live 7. I've seen pitches where all they talk is the Live 7. All the ad sales guys may talk about is C3, but we may be getting beyond that. So it's going to be the multiple screen deal that I think that everybody's kind of obsessing about and trying to figure out what's the best way to measure this. And once again, maybe we just turn to Nielsen and say, what do we do and help?
Absolutely think it needs to be focusing on what the consumer wants and the way to get it to them as quickly, painlessly, and with as much priority as possible. There's no question that the empowerment lies in the consumer. There's no question that their alternatives are at an all-time high. But there's also, based upon what we heard here, no question that their desire to have both entertainment and information is at an all-time high. And the amount and the breadth of people that are doing so is better than ever. So more questions are being asked, more questions will have to be answered, and people that actually know who to ask and how to ask it are going to be more valuable than ever.
Well, CIM's mission from the start has been to work in two areas, which is to see if set-top box data can be used to improve the measurement of television, and to see if we can solve the cross-platform measurement problem, basically. So we're particularly excited this week in that we've been able to announce the launch of the project we've been working on for the last 9 months with the Media Behavior Institute, which is the Touchpoints project, where we've actually been able to form a hub time-based data set based on gathering information. People enter into a little e-diary every half hour that gives us this incredibly rich picture of their media use throughout the day, who they're with, where they are, and their mood. And what you can do then is combine that with all the media currencies through Fusion, and it's a wonderful new cross-platform planning tool. So we're very optimistic that some of the challenges facing the industry can actually be solved through collaboration with the end users, the buy side and the sell side in the media business, and it makes us, very optimistic that we'll be able to solve some of the other cross-platform and set-top box challenges that are facing the industry.
It's a great project. Best of luck with it.
Thank you.
I think a couple of areas. First, really in the mobile space and understanding mobile behavior, and particularly as it relates to media content, and then also cross-platform as well, and how mobile fits in with cross-platform, and doing it from a passive standpoint and understanding the usage behavior, but also understanding, as I think advertising will become more prevalent in that medium, how advertising works and how it works, again, across not only the mobile screen but the other screens out there. So I think that's going to be a critical area. And again, while behavioral is going to be very important, it's also being able to integrate attitudinal information, understanding what's driving that behavior. So I think that's critical for the success of our business, is everyone's, because mobile is becoming such an important part of people's lives and a new way for people to get content.
Thank you.
It's really interesting because when we chatted yesterday, I had a slightly different respect. I think that a lot of the next few years is looking at existing research and then supplementing with new research. So instead of saying it's going to be in, over the top or a particular topic, I think the key, particularly for people like me, is to look at what's existing, and whether that's set-top box data, whether it's panel data, whether it's existing primary research, it would be to say, what do we know holistically? Let's understand and get insights out of it. The person yesterday, Rashid, who was talking about data to insights to wisdom, made a lot of sense. And if I could maybe see a big picture, it would be like the Bluefin Lab was talking about the TV genome. I would love to see companies actually invest in whatever would be their own genome, which is, this is what we understand, let's codify what we have, and then let's supplement it with new work. So I'm hoping a lot of it is organic that way.
Thank you.